What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. It is Tuesday. It is August 13th edition. We are back with a new video. If you saw yesterday's video, it was a little bit different because it just didn't get out there in time. The audio was screwed up, so I'm really hoping the audio doesn't screw up here. But welcome to the channel if you've never been. If you find anything at all helpful and useful, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. We are less than 200 people away. 200 subscribers away from 10,000 YouTube subscribers. It's been a very, very, very long time. It's since 2015 started this channel. So I'm very excited to get to that precipice. We are so close. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed. And if you are thinking about it, please do it. We want to hit that 10,000. You could be that 10,000th person. Videos are a little bit different. They're a little bit longer than maybe what you're used to for DFS. In DFS, you know, let's play these 5 players and that's it. Well, we break it down. We look at every game. We look at every pitcher. We look at every batter that we like. On top of that, we have giveaways every single day. 2 giveaways, possibly. I forgot the keyword yesterday, but I typed it in there for you. So be on the lookout. If you don't hear the keyword, be on the lookout for it in the pinned comment section. But 2 ways to win. First way. Like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment. If this video gets at least 50 likes, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA+. That's FantasyTeamAdvisors.com premium content. If the video gets at least 100 likes, you have a chance at a free month. 150 likes, a chance at a $200 free year. 200 or more likes, a chance at a $500 lifetime pass. And then the second one, somewhere in the video, I will say a keyword or a key phrase, and I'll have you type that, and you have a chance to win a free week on top of that. Now, you can win both of them. You could be the lucky winner for both of them. Let's see who the lucky winner of yesterday is, because this is just for hitting a minimum of 50 likes. And it could be the same person. You never know. Tavius88, congratulations. Email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, and let me know your username on the website, and we will get you your free pass. Now, I'm going to re-roll this, and since you did have the phrase sunflower seeds, you could win second on top of it. So let's check that out. And the winner for the keyword is Cujo Blue. Oh, no. Cujo. Didn't have that keyword. Okay. Picking another winner. Or picking a winner. We have Arturo. Thanks for the support, but only fire. Keyword is Matthias. You just won the other day, so congratulations. I'm going to give you that free weekly pass just like we did. So I see sunflower seeds in there. So congratulations to both of you. This is our sponsor, Outlier.bet. We will discuss Outlier.bet in a little bit, and let's jump into it. So it's a split slate. We've got an early slate and a main slate. The early slate is like 5 minutes earlier than what we're used to, but we actually have 6 games on this early slate, which is a lot of games considering. But it's got our favorite pitcher that we absolutely love today. Picture of the video and article. It's got the best matchup. Towards the end of the video, we'll go over the top 5 pitchers that have the best matchups out of the teams that strike out the most. So we call that Pitches Be Crazy. And then at the end, we will show you, or we'll tell you, all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating so in the background right now, we're doing simulations. So after these early simulations, we'll let you know. And then once, we'll run simulations later on throughout the day, and it'll be updated if there is anything that needs to be updated on the website. Again, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com is the website. You can check it all out down below. So early slate, Washington at Baltimore. We've got Jake Irvin going up against Trevor Rogers. So Trevor Rogers making his 3rd start since being traded. This will be his 3rd start. It's not gone well. We have stacked against him every single time, and that's kind of what I want to do here again. People are kind of Washington's, not the best team out there, but they've got some hitters that are hitting well. I do not trust Trevor Rogers. I want nothing to do with him. Baltimore offense, I'm okay with. Again, anyone on this Baltimore lineup that comes in, Jackson Holiday, test that man. Test that boy. He's not a man yet. Test him. He's on fire. He's hitting home runs. Pretty much everyone in this lineup for Baltimore is in play. I love a Baltimore stack here. I want nothing to do with Trevor Rogers. I really want nothing to do with Jake Irvin. You could throw Jake Irvin in there because everyone's going to be on Baltimore, but I still don't trust Jake Irvin. So that brings us to Washington bats against left-handed pitching. C.J. Abrams with 3 bombs, batting .284. Luis Garcia has been one of the lone bright spots in this lineup. Only 257 batting average against lefties compared to an overall batting average of 293, but he's got 14 bombs on the year, batting nearly 300 overall. I will take him in this lineup as well. Vargas, I will take Vargas as well. And then maybe a little bit Harold Ramirez against the lefty. Like, I just feel like we want to take advantage of stacking against Trevor Rogers. So depending on the Washington lineup that comes out here, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'll be stacking both of these teams. I want nothing to do with the pitching in this one. I would rather just go with the bats. St. Louis at Seattle is next. Eric Fetty-Wap, or Cincinnati, not Seattle, versus Hunter Green. So Eric Fetty coming in, game log wise, Tampa Bay, he just obviously got traded over. He's had one decent game, and then one game against Tampa Bay that was really good. Now he's going up against Cincinnati, which he has not faced Cincinnati before, and it's in Cincinnati, Great American Small Park, where I usually don't love taking pictures against them. And if you want to see why, go to the MLB tab, go to ballpark factors, coincide that with umpire factors, see which ones give better odds for home runs, and then look at the bullpen stats. So if both of these guys, depending on how the weather's doing, it could be spell disaster for pitching in this one. But Eric Fetty, one good game, one bad game, has not faced Cincinnati this year. That's the one thing, because, again, against Fetty, they haven't really seen him much. But against right-handed pitching, Cincy, Ellie De La Cruz is batting .290 with 15 bombs. Candelario batting .236 with 16 bombs. Got Will Benson batting .209. He does better against righties. 11 bombs. Spencer Steer, a .230 batting average, but 13 home runs. They've got some hitters that can hit. Got Tyler Stevenson. Usually I like taking more against lefties, but him against Eric Fetty, I do not mind whatsoever. But then we get to Hunter Green. Now, we used him his last game. Didn't really do much for us against Miami. Gave up 3 earned runs in 16, which isn't bad. 5 strikeouts, but only got 11.5 fantasy points. Against St. Louis this year, we look at this, and one game. Only lasted 4.1 innings. Only gave up 1 earned run with 6 Ks, but got the loss in that one. Did not have the run support. When he pitches at home, he does have a worse ERA, but I do not mind Hunter Green in this one. I'm not really looking too much into a St. Louis stack today, but maybe you could look at Nolan Arenado batting .281 with 7 bombs against righties. Nolan Gorman has 15. Alec Burleson dominates righties, .307 batting average, 17 home runs. Goldie, .218 batting average, 15 home runs. And Wilson Contreras, .254 batting average, 11 home runs. I don't know if I love a stack, but I will, pick and choose if you stack and you need 1 or 2 players. Some of those St. Louis players we talked about, they're not a bad option for today. Next game is the Cubs at the Guardians. It's Javier Assad right now versus Matt Boyd, who is getting, he's getting, has he pitched at all this year? No. Making his debut off the IL. Don't know how deep he's going to go into this game. Left-hander has completed 5 rehab starts with multiple minor league affiliates, including AAA, .083 ERA with 27 punch-outs. That's actually not bad. The problem is, he's going to be on some sort of pitch count, and he got up to 63 pitches. Now, I get it. AAA is obviously, AAA, AA, minor leagues are not the major leagues. So while his .83 ERA is impressive, he still is messy. Even though it's the Cubs, still got to pitch against major league pitchers or hitters. That scares me. Just looking at the Cubs bats that I would even consider here, maybe a little bit of Michael Busch, Seiya Suzuki, 16 home runs, really hits lefties well. You've got Bellinger, .279 batting average. I don't care if it's a lefty and righty matchup. I'll take him. Maybe I look at David Bodie if he's in there, batting .326 and 43 at bats as well. And we usually, when he was with the Cubs, we loved to when he was with Tampa Bay before the Cubs, Isak Paredes got 18 bombs, batting .240. I don't mind him. Boyd for tournaments I'm okay with, but again, he's going to be on some sort of pitch count. He has not gotten high up there. I'm scared to use him in this situation. And then Javier Assad, splits-wise, pitching on the road, he does have a worse ERA on the road. I don't trust him against Cleveland. I'd probably look at these Cleveland bats. Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor. Andres Gimenez, Steven Kwan are the top ones. Joenski, Noel, you could look at. You could also maybe look at Will Brennan if you don't want to pay up for the other guys, or even Andres Gimenez if you don't want to pay up for both Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor. I could see them. I'm probably not using Assad. I'd probably go with Cleveland bats in that one. Then Seattle, Detroit, there is some weather concern, but we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Tariq Skubal coming into this game. Just faced this team. He was our number one last time. Got to be the number one again this time because Seattle strikes out the most. Don't overthink it. I love Tariq Skubal here. I could see a 7-inning, 2-earned run game here again. When he pitches at home, he has a better ERA than on the road. As long as the weather holds up, I like this. Got 171 Ks. I believe he's leading the major leagues in ERA right now at 257, and close to leading in strikeouts as well. But yeah, I absolutely love Tariq Skubal here. Number one, he is expensive. He's got a great matchup though. That's where I would go in this situation. And then the flip side of that, Seattle, George Kirby going in, same thing as last time. Faced Detroit. 14.5 is not enough. It only lasted 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 7 Ks, but didn't go deeper into games. And then you look at splits. He's pitching on the road where he has a worse ERA. I'm not saying I'm probably not taking the bats in this one. I'm just taking Tariq Skubal against Seattle. I feel more comfortable with that than looking at any of the bats in this game. Just kind of monitor the weather, and we'll go from there. Then you got Miami at Philly. You've got Belozo versus Taijuan Walker off the IL. So he will start. He has not pitched since June 21st. So he did not do well pretty much all year for the most part. 60 pitches. That's the problem here as well. Another one coming off the IL. Another one that probably not going to go deep into games. It is Miami, but I just do not trust Taijuan Walker enough. You could, whatever. I don't trust him. If you wanted to look at Miami bats, not a ton to love here, but Jake Berger, obviously, you got to get some burgers and fries, get a home run out of him here. Jesus Sanchez got 12 bombs, batting 266 against right-handed pitching this year. Xavier Edwards in 105 at-bats, 371 batting average against righties. We got to get him in there. Those would be the ones I'd look at. One-offs could be maybe Kyle Stowers. You could look at Jonah Bride as well, but the main ones we talked about is what I'd look at. And then Philly bats, it really just depends on how Belozo does. Never faced him before, but Alec Bohm batting 306 against right-handed pitching. You've got Trey Turner batting over 300 with 8 bombs. Brandon Marsh, 11 bombs. Kyle Schwarber has 17 bombs against right-handed pitching. Only batting 209, but he's still an option. And then Bryce Harper, who has struggled recently, 18 bombs still against right-handed pitching. So I would definitely look at a stack. I like a Philly stack more than I like Miami, but with the way Taijuan Walker has been and what he's done this far this year and hasn't pitched in so long, might get to the bullpen. And if you want to see how bad the bullpens are, you can always go to the MLB tab, go down to the bullpens, and it will tell you how bad the bullpens are. For instance, let's say Taijuan Walker gets out 60 pitches, 4 innings. Let's just say he gets to the 4th inning, and then Philly offense has to come in, or Philly bullpen has to come in. Philly's bullpen has an ERA of 4.18, giving up 350 hits, 177 earned runs, a whip of 1.28, 47 home runs. 47 home runs is down there. They don't give up a ton of home runs, but they do give up the hits. So if we look at the hits, Philly's bullpen is basically in the middle. So not a lockdown bullpen. They're still giving it up. So it really will just depend on what we think will happen with Walker. But I do not mind a stack. Obviously, Philly a little bit more. Then Houston at Tampa Bay is the next one. You've got Yusei Kikuchi versus Shane Baz. So Kikuchi coming in. Game logs. He's had 2 starts for the Astros, 5.1 in, 5.2 innings, so he hasn't gone 6 innings. He has not gone 6 innings since July 9th. 2 earned runs is basically what he's given, and he's got 19 strikeouts in these 2 games. Now he goes up against a Tampa Bay team that he's already seen twice this year while he was with Toronto. Pitched 10 innings, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs, 15 Ks. Now some of these bats are probably bats that got traded off. The way he's been pitching with Houston, I do not mind him. Splits-wise, he's on the road. does have a worse ERA. Well, actually, has a better ERA on the road, but it's still 4.56. So tournaments I'm okay with, but I don't love him. There are other pitching options on this early slate that we don't really have to agree or even want to use Kikuchi. Now, his strikeouts are up there lately. The strikeouts have been aplenty, but if we're looking at Tampa Bay bats against him, Dylan Carlson usually smashes lefties. You could look at him if he's in there. Taylor Walls has a home run against him. Yandy Diaz batting 300 against him with 1 home run. Jose Siri batting 250 with a home run against him. And then like Brandon Lau batting 248 against lefties. Yandy Diaz batting 343 against lefties. I could see some of these bats. I don't know if I want to look at a full Tampa Bay stack, but a couple of one-offs like a Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lau, Curtis Mead batting 381 against lefties. I am okay with him as well. Tournaments, Kikuchi is okay, but again, not going deep into games, and if he doesn't get the strikeouts early, it might be game over for him in this start. But he's been really good lately. And then Houston bats against Baz. Splits-wise, he's already faced him once, giving up 2 earned runs, 5.1 innings. 3.8 fantasy points is not enough. It just depends on the lineup that comes out. Isn't really, 4 earned runs against St. Louis. Houston's a better team. Look for the lineup, but Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez. If Chas McCormick is in there, I don't mind him. Jeremy Pena, I don't mind him either in a stack there. And that is the early slate done. Early slate is actually 6 games, which is wild. We don't usually see that. But the sponsor today is Outlier.bet. They have 2 different price points. The first one is just the regular $19.99. If there's a link down below, if you sign up using our link, go through the 7-day free trial and pay the $20, show us proof on Discord or email us, and we'll give you a free month of FTA Plus. But their Pro package is amazing. If you have not seen the Pro package, it digs into a little bit more. So $130, it digs in to EV Plus. So it shows you boost. It shows arbitrage. It digs in a little bit more. It shows all the players on every given day that have plus EV, which is plus expected value, over the norm. It's got a bunch of that. You can see all of the different versions of Pro. It's $130 if you go through the 7-day free trial. Check it out for 7 days. If you like what you see, sign up, pay that money, and then email us, and we're going to give you 3 months free of FTA Plus. Now, that is a $90 value on top of getting the Outlier for 1 month. So check them out. We use them every single day. We go through the props if you want to check it out. Depending on when you watch this video, we may have a props video out for today, or you can check out yesterday's video, and it digs in a little bit deeper of what Outlier is and how we can use them moving forward. So that is the sponsor. Outlier.bet is awesome. Go check them out right now. Now, we are on to the main slate, which is 9 games. Looking at weather, it looks good. As of now, the weather looks good. Joe Ryan, I don't know why he's still showing up here. I believe it's not announced yet, but it looks to be Zebby Matthews getting called up. It looks like he might be the starter here. So we'll get to it when we get to it. But let's look at Texas at Boston. Okay? We've got, and it shows a bunch of, because they don't know who's going to be the starter for him, so that's the problem why it's showing everybody here right now. But Jose Urena versus Cutter Crawford. Now, Urena, I don't trust him he's not done good. 4 innings is max. It's been since June 5th since he's gone over 4 innings. The earned runs are there. The walks are there. The negative points have been there for these teams. He just faced this Boston team and gave up 7 earned runs on 2 starts ago. It's exactly what I'm looking at again. I'm not looking at Urena. On paper, he does have a plus matchup against Boston. And we're going to show you. But what I mean by that is the strikeouts. But that is why you can't always follow that list. So I'm off of Urena for Pitches Be Crazy. I'm off of him for sports betting. I am off of him for DFS. I am looking at a stack for Boston. Jarren Duran, probably still out. Rafi Devers against righties, absolutely dominant. Rafaela, dominant. Wilyer Abreu, I am looking at Wilyer Abreu as well. There's just other bad. David Hamilton is another one for Boston that I'd look at. Then you got Cutter Crawford. So Cutter Crawford's in here. Bad start against Kansas City. Mediocre start against Texas. Gave up 5 earned runs in that game. That's kind of what I'm feeling again. I don't trust him enough. I'm rather stacking. Instead of pitching in this matchup, I'm looking at bats. I love Boston a little bit more, but I love Texas bats here as well. Corey Seager, I'm definitely looking at Corey Seager. He's got 2 home runs, batting 500, 4 for 8 against him. Marcus Semien, 3 for 10 with 2 home runs against Cutter Crawford. I love looking at Wyatt Langford here. Again, I'm definitely up for him. Nate Lowe batting 259 against righties. I like him. Jonah Heim batting 233 with 7 bombs against right-handed pitching. I am all in on that one as well. Josh Young batting 318. Love batting over 300 against the handed pitcher. In this ballpark, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking at stacks, both Boston and Texas. I want nothing to do with the pitching. So then we got Oakland at the Mets. You've got Paul Blackburn facing his old team, which he just faced them last time? No, he did not. I thought he did. Okay. But anyway, he faced, he came in, he faced, that's what it was, LA Angels. But in Colorado, he went 6 innings, only gave up 1 earned run with 6 strikeouts. Going against his former team, Oakland actually strikes out more on the road than they do at home. Whether or not him facing them before or him being on the team and them knowing his arsenal, I don't know. But I don't mind Paul Blackburn, especially at 7,500. I do not mind him at all. And then Oakland, Ross Stripling. Game logs, really hasn't done much. He's 5.1, 5.2 innings. But outside of that, it's not equating out to fantasy points. That makes me shy away from using the pitching in this one and strictly looking at bats in this matchup. I'm really not thinking of Oakland bats against Blackburn. If you were, Zach Geloff has 13 home runs and 207 batting average against right-handed pitching. Max Schumann, 4 home runs, 263. Brent Rooker batting 290 with 20 bombs against right-handed pitching. I'm okay with that. Kyle McCann, 4 home runs, 276 batting average. I'm okay with that as well. But Mets bats against Ross Stripling, not a ton of success. But against right-handed pitching this year, Francisco Alvarez batting 270 with 3 bombs. You've got Harrison Bader batting 294 with 6 bombs. Jesse Winker, 266 batting average, 10 bombs. Tyrone Taylor, 265 batting average, 5 home runs. I don't mind these guys. Mark Vientos might be a one-off if you want, or even Jeff McNeil, or Francisco Lindor. I do not mind Lindor at all. And Pete Alonso, 16 home runs, but only batting 237 against righties. So I am off of Stripling. I like Paul Blackburn. I like the Mets offense a little bit more than Oakland. Got Kansas City at Minnesota. They believe, so we don't know 100%, but it is Seth Lugo. And they think it's going to be Zebby Matthews, but we're not 100%. So it's kind of what we're waiting to see. But again, even if it is Sal Perez, I'm looking at Sal Perez. I'm looking at Bobby Witt Jr. I'm looking at Pasquantino. Cheaper options would be Michael Massey. He is day-to-day, but make sure he's in there. Or maybe even a cheap outfield option like Kyle Isbell or Hunter Renfroe for Kansas City bats. Minnesota bats, Seth Lugo, I believe he just faced him. No, he didn't. He's faced him twice this year, though. 12 innings pitched, only 1 earned run. I don't mind Seth Lugo there. Strikeouts are low. And at 9,300, he is kind of expensive. We did fade him against Boston, and Boston strikes out a ton. And it worked out. He had 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. His price is it's too high for me. I do not trust him. I'd rather just go with Kansas City bats, maybe fade Minnesota, and Lugo's price is just too high up there for me today. Yankees at the White Sox, you got Nestor Cortez versus Jonathan Cannon. Now, the White Sox are a bad team. Nestor Cortez has been bad. He is worse on the road. 608 on the road. He has faced White Sox once this year, went 7 innings with 6 Ks in that game. Was that in Chicago? No, it would have been it. Yeah, it was at home. That's my problem. He is very bad at home or on the road, and he was very bad his last start. That's what scares me a little bit because you never know what you're going to get out of him, and he's not been ideal lately. So if you were to go contrarian and look at some sort of White Sox stack, I don't mind Andrew Vaughn. Andrew Vaughn's a good one, batting 298 against left-handed pitching with 3 bombs. Corey Julks batting 306 if he's in there. Corey Lee has 2 home runs, batting 267. Like, there's not a ton I love about White Sox offense. But if you want to go contrarian against Nestor Cortez, I would not fault you. And then Jonathan Cannon, did he face them before? He did not face them before. Splits pitching at home. He's got a 2.90 ERA in 7 starts. Has never faced the Yankees before, but he's actually had 2 really good starts. One was against Kansas City, a decent start against Kansas City, and then Oakland was a really good start, 6 innings. So you're looking at about 6 innings out of him. But the way that the Yankees bats are hitting, I'm probably stacking the Yankees. Really doesn't matter the lineup in there. Anthony Volpe has looked a little bit sluggish lately, so I might avoid him. But that's it. Like, I would look at a Yankee stack for sure. Then we got the Dodgers at the Brewers. You got Gavin Stone versus Colin Ray. Gavin Stone on the road, 3.12 ERA, so he has been better on the road. And Milwaukee hits, trying to see how they hit overall against righties or lefties. They're a little bit better against left-handed pitching. But if you're not going Gavin Stone and you want to go some bats, William Contreras has 11 bombs. Willie Adames has 19 bombs. He hits righties better than lefties. Rhys Hoskins hits righties better than lefties, has 15 bombs himself. Jackson Chourio, 273 batting average, 13 bombs. I do not mind these guys at all. Jory Ortiz might be a cheap option, or maybe a Sal Frelick or Garrett Mitchell if you're trying to get a 5-man stack for Milwaukee. Mookie Betts being back, that's always good. Gavin Stone has not done anything lately, so a Milwaukee stack, I do not mind. Colin Ray, on the other hand, game log-wise, coming off a fantastic start against Atlanta. 9 strikeouts there. 9.687, so they've been there. Splits-wise, at home, 368 batting average. He's got 6 wins, 11 home runs against him. I don't mind. A tournament option, I think a lot of people will be off of him. And at his price, you could get something good out of there. 338 batting average is not bad. If we are looking at Dodgers bats, Freddie Freeman, obviously Gavin Lux, Mookie Betts is back. I like Mookie Betts. They just DFA'd Ahmed Rosario, so he is out. Ohtani is obviously another option you can use as well. And then if we are looking, so I'm not looking at Gavin Stone. I'm Colin Ray for tournaments. Gavin Stone I'm off of completely. I don't want anything to do with him. I would be looking at Milwaukee bats just a little bit more in this game. But obviously the Dodgers offense is a very good hitting offense. We know exactly what to expect out of them. It just depends if Colin Ray shows up or if, he does not show up in this game. Then Toronto at the Angels is next. You got Kevin Gausman versus Carson Fulmer. Gausman, splits-wise, has not faced the Angels this year. Pitching on the road, actually has a way better ERA on the road. Game logs, pretty good against Baltimore. Decent, 18.4 against a really good Baltimore team is great. His price has dropped down. He did not have a good game against the Yankees. Had a great game against Texas. Angels, not that really good of a team. I'm probably on the Gausman train. And then Carson Fulmer. Looking at Carson Fulmer, very up and down. Had a good game against Colorado. Not a good game against the Yankees. Not against Oakland. Decent against Seattle. Splits-wise, when he's pitching at home, he's got a better ERA at home. I don't mind him. Tournaments, I'm okay with. Toronto bats, Vladdy, Horowitz, Ernie Clement, maybe George Springer. I don't love this matchup here. I'm really not looking at the Angels bats whatsoever either. And the key word of the day is margarita. Let me know what your favorite margarita is. Is it frozen? Is it on the rocks? And what flavor? I absolutely love a peach margarita. I love raspberry. Frozen. I like frozen, though. That's definitely where I'd go. Do they even make those Bud Light Limeritas anymore? Is that still a thing? I haven't even thought of that for a minute. That just popped in my head. But anyway, that is where we're at there. Colorado at Arizona. You got the battle of the lefties here. Erod versus Austin Gomber. We did not use Erod last time because we didn't think he's going to go deep in the game. Kind of the same thing. 5.2 innings, 65 pitches. Kind of what I'm expecting. I don't like either of these pitchers. I'd rather look at the offenses, both sides. I'd rather look at both. I love Arizona offense better than I love Colorado. But that's kind of where I'm at here. I would stack both sides. Arizona bats against lefties is usually what we like to take. Ketel Marte is batting 381 in 21 at-bats against Austin Gomber. 2 home runs. Eugenio Suarez has 2 home runs. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. has a home run against him. Kevin Newman has one. But the batters that dominate lefties this year for Arizona, Ketel Marte batting 360. Del Castillo could be a cheap option at catcher if he's in there. Kevin Newman batting 295 against lefties. Perdomo batting 317. Grichuk, 294 batting average. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., 336. Jake McCarthy, 369. It feels like Arizona might be one of those where you make multiple different stacks with them today. And then Colorado bats against Erod. I just don't trust them enough. Jake Stallings, 300 batting average, 5 bombs. Ryan McMahon, 6 bombs. Brendan Rodgers batting 304 with 4 home runs against left-handed pitching. Brenton Doyle batting 271 with 3 bombs. And Charlie Blackmon batting 278, and they started leading him off again. I do not mind him. I am fading the pitching. I'm looking at both stacks on the side there. Pittsburgh, San Diego, Michael King versus Luis Ortiz. Ortiz just faced them last time, only 7.9 innings. I don't love a San Diego stack because I don't love them there, and they just faced him. I'm not using Ortiz. And then Michael King coming in. Just faced them before, only 14.5, gave up 3 earned runs, but had 7 strikeouts there. That was on the road, now it's at home. He is worse at home. I don't mind Pittsburgh. Like Michael King for strikeouts, I'm okay with if you want to go like whatever his prop would be. I don't love this game offensively. At the moment, I'm not really looking at the bats. There's other games I would look at. I'm not really looking at pitching in this one, outside of maybe Michael King for tournaments and a prop bet or two for him. And then Atlanta at San Francisco is last. You got Charlie Morton versus Kyle Harrison. I was all over stacking against Charlie Morton last week. If you remember, lasted 2.2 innings against Milwaukee, 8 earned runs, minus 10 fantasy points. Now, this is a pitcher's park. He has already faced them once this year, got the loss, 5.1 innings, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 5 strikeouts. He's still too expensive for me against this San Francisco offense. I know this is at home for them, so it is a massive ballpark. I do not trust him whatsoever. Kyle Harrison, on the other hand, we did not use him against Washington last time. 4.2 innings, only 2 earned runs, but 9.5 fantasy points is not enough. Arizona can hit. He is not as good a pitcher as Blake Snell. Atlanta bats against left-handed pitching. Marcell Ozuna batting 343 with 5 bombs. You got Jorge Soler at his former ballpark with 5 bombs. You got Matt Olson batting 258 with 7 bombs. Matt Olson hits lefties better this year than he does righties. Adam Duvall, they brought him over to hit against lefties. He's got 7 bombs against lefties. Ramon Laureano could be a cheap option if he's in there. Got 3 home runs. I do not mind a Atlanta stack against Harrison. And then San Francisco bats against Morton. I just don't trust him. Mark Canha has a home run against him. Matt Chapman has a home run. Gerard Encarnacion has a home run. And Elliot Ramos has a home run against him. Those would be the bats that I'd use. Because overall, they don't... Tyler Fitzgerald is another bat that I would use there. I'm not using Harrison. And I'm not using Charlie Morton at all today. There you have it. That is the breakdown. That is the early slate, the main slate, the pitchers, all of the batters. Now let's check out the top 5 pitchers according to Pitches Be Crazy. And I will tell you, I do not agree with all of them, but these are statistics. Number 1 is Tariq Skubal versus Seattle. Just dominated them last time. Problem is the weather might be a concern, so definitely watch that. Number 2 on paper is Eduardo Rodriguez versus Colorado. I do not trust Eduardo Rodriguez. He's not going to go deep into games. I'm probably off of him there. Jose Urena against Boston. That's another one that I do not trust. I don't trust him at all. I'm not using those 2. Michael King versus Pittsburgh. I don't mind. And then Paul Blackburn versus Oakland. I do not mind because Oakland is the 5th team that strikes out, and they strike out more on the road than they do at home. So Tariq Skubal, Erod, Urena, Michael King, and Paul Blackburn. And I am not using Erod or Urena. If you are looking for other pitchers, you could look at Kevin Gausman against the Angels. I do not mind them. If Nestor Cortez is on his game against the White Sox, I wouldn't be surprised at 6+ strikeouts out of him. It'll just depend on what Nestor we get. We'll know pretty early if we're going to get a good one or not. You could do Zebby Matthews just because he's getting called up and no one's seen him, if he is starting, in fact. And then, honestly, sneaky option might be Colin Ray versus the Dodgers. It will really just depend on if the Dodgers decide to strike out on the road more than hitting. And then we're looking at all the players that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. Number 1, Aaron Judge. 2, Marcus Semien. 3, Corey Seager. 4, Yordan Alvarez. 5, Juan Soto. 6, Emmanuel Valdez. 7, Jurickson Profar. 8, Lamont Wade Jr. 9, Alex Call. 10, Masataka Yoshida. Marcell Ozuna is 11. Number 12 is Michael Togliai against Eduardo Rodriguez. Now, Valdez did get called up, but he's not playing every day, so that's definitely one there. So this might be updated. These are very early simulations, so anything can change and happen. So definitely pay attention and check out under the MLB tab the simulation models. I would say normally about 2 hours before first pitch of the main slate. And that's when we'll have them updated and stuff like that. So, what, 3 Central, give or take, 3 Central, and see if any of this has been updated. So, that's what I've got in this video. Hopefully you found it informative and helpful. Be on the lookout for all NFL content. We're less than a month away. We're very excited, and we cannot wait for NFL. We're going to absolutely kill it with videos and articles, and we're going to do more. I have 8 weeks off of work for paternity starting this Friday. So, got the first month and a half of football season, 6 weeks of football season to really delve in for you guys, and I cannot wait. So good luck on this slate, and as always, let's bring home some bacon, guys. Peace.